video, we will look at properties of exponents, mainly the power to power rule and power of products, as well as power of quotients. Power to a power rule states that when raising a power to a power, we keep the base and multiply the exponents. So in example 1, we see we have x cubed all being raised to the second power or being squared. So that's a power to a power. With those exponents, as the rule says, we'll keep the base of x and multiply the exponents. So 3 times 2 gives us x to the 6th power. Pause for just a second. I want you to try this one here. Q to the 5th raised to the 4th power. Did you get Q raised to the 5 times 4 power, which equals Q to the 20th? Hopefully you did, because you followed the law that says when raising a power to a power, you keep the base and multiply the exponents. Now, let's look at power of products and power of quotients. When raising a product to or a quotient to a power, we raise every factor to the same power and still remember to multiply the exponents as we did in the power to a power rule. So let's look at example 1. Here we have the quantity of negative 5x to the 8th y all being squared. That means the negative 5 is being squared, the x to the 8th is being squared, and the y. So we would take negative 5, and that's being squared. X to the 8th is being squared, and the y is being squared. So here, with our number, negative 5 squared, that's negative 5 times negative 5, we get 25. And on this one, with x to the 8th being squared, the power to a power rule says we should be multiplying those exponents. So we would get x to the 16th power. And then our y is being squared as well. Now, if it helps you to understand that we have still multiplied the exponents, on the y there is an understood 1 that's there. So we have raised y to the 1st power and squared it. So 1 times 2 is still going to give us y squared. But since that's an understood 1, we just go ahead and do the multiplication and put y to the 2nd power. Okay? Now, for example 2, let's look and see. Here we have a quotient that's being raised to a power. So all of this, ab cubed all over 2c squared, is being raised to the 4th power. So every single factor that's in those parentheses is being raised to the 4th power. So our a is being raised to the 4th power. Our b cubed is being raised to the 4th power. Our 2 is being raised to the 4th power. And our c squared is being raised to the 4th power. So let's see if we remember the rules and what to do. A to the 4th, we have that. But when I'm raising this power to a power, we multiply those exponents. We would have b to the 12th. On the bottom, 2 to the 4th, that would be 16. And then c squared is being raised to the 4th power. Power to a power, we multiply those exponents. So our final answer is a to the 4th, b to the 12th, all over 16c to the 8th power. One more example that we'll look at together. Here again, I have a quantity in parentheses. All of those are being factors are being raised to the 3rd power. So I do have an understood negative 1 here that's being raised to the 3rd power. M to the 4th is being raised to the 3rd power, n as well as the p squared. So let's break that up and look individually at what we've got. Our negative 1 is being cubed. Our m to the 4th is being cubed. Our n is being cubed. And our p squared is being cubed. So we have to know the rules and what to do. Here, negative 1 to the 3rd power, that means negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1. 3 negatives yields a negative. So we do have a negative 1 there. M to the 4th, all being cubed. What do we do with those exponents? We multiply them, so that's m to the 12th. We've got n to the 3rd, or n cubed, and p squared is being cubed, power to a power. Again, we multiply those exponents. Now, on this problem, we typically will not see the understood -1 written. It would just be written as a negative. So we have for our final answer -m to the 12th n cubed p to the 6th. Now, I want you to try. At this time, pause your video. I want you to try numbers 1, 2, and 3. Pause the video and restart when you are ready to check your answers. Remember to practice by yourself. Don't be afraid to make mistakes at this point. We're learning, but the best way to learn is by doing and trying on your own. So pause the video at this time and then press play when you're ready to see how you've done. Let's see, for number 1, we should be raising -1 to the 4th power, x to the 4th power, and y to the 4th is also being raised to the 4th power. So you should have gotten a +1, x to the 4th, y to the 16th. And again, remember, it is not necessary to write the 1. You will not see that written. All right, for number 2, we have a quotient that's being raised to a power. So your m squared is being cubed, your n is being cubed, your 5 is being cubed, as well as your p being cubed. So let's apply the rules where they are. We've got a power to a power here. You should have gotten m to the 6th, n cubed on top. 5 to the 3rd power is 125, and p cubed. For number 3, we've got a full quantity, a product that's being squared. So my -3 is being squared, my f cubed is being squared, g is being squared, and h to the 6th is being squared. So look at that, we've got that every single factor is being squared when we see the parentheses around all of it. So -3 squared means -3 times -3, that is 9. Raising a power to a power here, hopefully you multiplied and got f to the 6th. Our g is being squared. And for h, we had h to the 6th being squared, raised to the 2nd power, power to a power. Hopefully you multiplied and got h to the 12th. How'd you do? Hopefully you did well. If not, write down your specific questions about the problems that you've missed and bring those to class with you, ready to ask your specific questions about the power to a product, power to a power, power of a product, and power of a quotient.